down into first gear with Mansell behind Senna, and all the time, of course, Gerhard Berger in the lead is pulling away. Race order now with Gerhard Berger leading on lap 4 by 5.5 seconds. It is Berger leading, Senna second, Mansell third, Patrese is in fourth position. In fifth place it is Alain Prost, and in sixth position it is Pierluigi Martini in the Minardi Ferrari, who started seventh in the race. In eighth position behind Martini it is Michael Schumacher. In ninth position, terrific this, is Alessandro Zanardi, and in 10th position behind him Gianni Morbidelli. So the Minardi Ferraris are doing well into the chicane and out of it to complete another lap, Senna and Mansell. And Mansell's got to make his break soon, because all the time Berger is pulling away. And I remind you, now Mansell is charging, no doubt about it. Nigel Mansell is, and the gap has gone up. Gerhard Berger is leading by 6.5 seconds now. And I can't help feeling that this is an attempt by the McLaren team to break Williams. And I also think that it is a calculated ploy, although why Senna didn't take up the role of leader and let Berger hold up Mansell, I do not know, but I could be wrong anyway. But anyway, you're riding with, or were, Nigel Mansell looking at Ayrton Senna in front as they go under the crossover into the tight left-handed chicane, the hairpin curve. And you can see that Suzuka has got cranes out all round the circuit to retrieve broken cars if there are any. And that is Emanuele Pirro that you see being interviewed, the Roman, out of the race on the third lap as you watch Nigel Mansell. Now, Riccardo Patrese is holding a watching brief in terms of the Constructors' Championship, although it's early to talk about championships at this stage of the race. McLaren, of course, are back in the lead again, with Berger leading the race, Senna in second position, so that is 16 points for them, hypothetically. And you look down, now you can see what I mean by a ludicrous chicane. And they're into the start and finish straight, having completed lap 5, coming up towards 1/10th distance in the Japanese Grand Prix. 8 seconds, and that is Mika Häkkinen out of the race. So there's a lot of retirements. Last year, if my memory serves me right, only 10 people were classified as finishers. It's a demanding circuit, this. And it's not just demanding on the cars and the engines and the drivers, it's demanding on the balance of the car. And you're looking now at Satoru Nakajima taking Eric Comas. Nakajima wanting to do well, naturally, the Japanese driver at Suzuka in his home Grand Prix with a Japanese Honda V10 engine behind him. And Riccardo Patrese is taking up station behind Nigel Mansell in fourth position. Race order is still Berger leading now by 8 seconds from the battle between Ayrton Senna second, Nigel Mansell in third position. In fourth position, Riccardo Patrese. Fifth is Alain Prost. Sixth is Pierluigi Martini. Seventh, as you watch Häkkinen spinning off, in seventh position it is Michael Schumacher. Eighth is Zanardi. In ninth position it is Gianni Morbidelli. In 10th place it is Modena. 11th is Martin Brundle. His teammate Mark Blundell didn't start, of course, because he failed to pre-qualify. And in 12th place it is Eric Comas. Well, Senna, Mansell that we're with now. And the McLarens are certainly looking good. Down the start and finish straight. And this puts me in mind of the situation in Spain with Senna and Mansell, when Mansell pulled out of the slipstream of Senna's McLaren and fought it out at 195 miles an hour down the straight to turn 1 at Barcelona. And in the end it was Mansell with the inside line who got through. There is the confirmation, Berger leading by 8.3 seconds. and Pierluigi Martini in 6th position. Ferrari engined cars 5th and 6th, and Mansell is, you can see now how difficult it is at Suzuka, as I said, to find a passing place, because Mansell desperately, obviously, wants to get past Senna and up into 2nd place to start to challenge the leader, Gerhard Berger. Gerhard Berger leading then 8.5 seconds. This is the battle for 2nd place, Senna and Mansell. And you can see a clear track now ahead of the McLaren. Riccardo Patrese still 4th, and there's a big gap now between Patrese, who is in 4th position, and the 5th place man Alain Prost. The Ferrari team in total disarray, one must very sadly say, with doubt about whether Prost is even going to be competing in Japan. He was apparently told by Ferrari at one point that he didn't need to turn up for the last 2 races, in which case I imagine Capelli might have taken his place. But there is so much mystery about what is happening in the Ferrari team and the future of their drivers that I emphasise that what I'm saying is informed rumour. Well, at the present moment, in terms of the race and the championship, Senna is perfectly happy. He's in 2nd place. He knows that Nigel Mansell is behind him. He knows that he can make it virtually impossible for Senna to. He knows he can make it virtually impossible for Mansell to get past him. And out of the race goes Alessandro Zanardi. So there are already 1, 2, 3, 6 retirements, and we are only on lap 8 out of 53 at the present moment. Patrese closed up on Mansell. He's not making any effort at all to get past the Englishman. He's biding his time and waiting to see what happens with Mansell and Senna, and my guess is that not very much is going to happen with Mansell and Senna unless Mansell can force the Brazilian into making a mistake, and that is pretty unlikely. Down towards the chicane again, and if it was difficult to pass at the chicane before, it is even more difficult now. One of the reasons the chicane position was altered was because the then president of FISA, the Frenchman Jean-Marie Balestre, you watched Ron Dennis there, the team manager of McLaren. Jean-Marie Balestre made such a fuss about the hairpin and the problems that it had caused in 1989 that it was moved. It's ironic that Balestre has been deposed and the Englishman Max Mosley has taken his place as president of FISA, and you see now that the gap between Berger in the lead and Senna in 2nd position is now up to 10 seconds.
Yes, and certainly McLaren seem to have the situation very much under control at the moment, because of course Mansell needs to win the race, and Senna can win the championship, still coming 2nd. Mansell now starting to put Senna under pressure, and he's got to do this. He's got to pass him, he's got to catch and pass Berger, and still Berger can hold 2nd place for Senna if Patrese can then not do anything about Senna from behind. So really it's very much a team battle, and at the moment McLaren's, courtesy of their superior qualifying performance, have very much the upper hand.
Now, sadly, the German Karl Wendlinger, who is substituting for Ivan Capelli in the Leighton House team, is out. The Austrian Karl Wendlinger, sorry I got his nationality wrong, and he was the man who went out with JJ Leto and Pirro, not Andrea De Cesaris, but one of the Jordans is out, and the retirements on this, the 9th lap, with Mansell's pressure not making Senna yield at the present moment. The retirements are Alesi, Leto, Wendlinger, Pirro, Mika Hakkinen and Zanardi. And we are on lap 9 in the 53-lap Japanese Grand Prix, with Gerhard Berger leading by an ever-increasing margin